We got some big stuff to go over with XRP, and they're afraid you'll notice. They want this information buried. It gives them time to get in position. They hope, really, that you're distracted because they're the late ones. And the few that got to front run this machine, man, the payoff is going to be astronomical. Look at this. Ripple moves to tokenize real estate on the XRP ledger. This just came out from Ripple X. We've covered this to some extent. We're going to go a little more in depth, dig a little deeper on this. Ripple, they're not talking about theory anymore. It's executing. And real estate, this is the $1 trillion target, the next $1 trillion target. It's nice when your business has multi-trillion-dollar targets here. Dubai, it's live. Title deeds are going on chain. XRP ledger, it's the backbone. None of this, they're not using the tech stuff. No, it is the backbone to what they're doing here. This isn't just a pilot, it's a global benchmark in the making. It's important to understand. Colombia modernizing land registries on the XRP ledger. Hong Kong explored HELOCs backed by tokenized real estate. And now Dubai, backed by regulators and Ripple. It's setting the gold standard for programmable property markets. And this is interesting. It's no longer about Ripple telling banks what they should do and the crypto industry lecturing people. No, this is banks and financial institutions begging for this. They want it terribly, and we are seeing the future arrive here. Here's what Ripple's quietly building here. Native token issuance, built-in decentralized exchange, stable coins with RLUSD and its lending protocol, and regulatory approval in the UAE. It all ties together. This makes this global liquidity machine. The real estate market, it's a 300 trillion behemoth in need of redesign. So value can move, so investment value can flow in, and we will see asset values rise the more liquid that market becomes. You can strip away, just unbelievable costs in real estate transactions. It's going to be a game changer. And for the first time, blockchain infrastructure, it's scaling to meet this demand here, not through hype, but through legal clarity, custody, and compliance. That's the big deal. The question isn't if real estate is going to be tokenized. We know it will be. It's whether you'll realize it before it becomes the new normal, before this becomes the standard. It's just a matter of time. Vivo Power, we got quite a bit to go over here. Is this the next micro strategy in the making? It seems crazy. Like, this is a very small company, but remember, in 2020, MicroStrategies, before they made their first Bitcoin purchase, they were a $1 billion company, a footnote in the tech industry. They were nobody. Today, $100 billion powerhouse, reshaped by blockchain, reshaped by their investment, their early investment in Bitcoin. Now here comes Vivo Power, a very tiny company making a bold $100 million move into XRP, the first to make a move of this kind. MicroStrategies, of course, they leverage Bitcoin to rewrite its future. Vivo Power is using XRP to do the same before the crowd understands what's happening. Small means nothing when you are leveraging the right assets at the right moment. The next wave of giants, it's not going to be coming from Silicon Valley. They will come from the underdogs willing to act before it's safe, before it's proven, and blockchain, it's the great equalizer here. Now, by the time the crowd catches up here, it's already too late. Understand what I'm saying here. We got more news on this front. I'm not telling people to invest in Vivo Power. I have no idea if ultimately this company will make it to scale. But what I do know is when you have XRP, you got everything Ripple's doing, you have Vivo Power, you have Robinhood and Bitstamp, you have all the independent developers and use cases. You're going to capture all of this value, essentially. So I'm not telling you not to invest in Vivo Power, but it's not something that I'm doing at this time. But it could be a monster for this space if they do it right. And I also like that they are investing not just in XRP, the token, but building DeFi and other applications on this blockchain. That's a big one in the long term. We see about this Vivo Power, 100 million XRP treasury deal landed. Vivo Power is going all in on XRP, and they've tapped BitGo This is exciting to handle their first 100 million buy. Could they have tapped Ripple? Sure, I'm sure they could have. But I'm glad they did not, because we want people that are, you know, separated from Ripple, not connected to them, making their own moves, making their own success with this technology stack. BitGo, just a monster in this industry. They will execute their over-the-counter purchase and institutional custody strategy to hold XRP, build DeFi, and back XRP ledger growth. And they're not doing it with Ripple custody. They're not sourcing it from Ripple. They're using a BitGo, a huge unrelated third party. This isn't a hedge. This is a full-blown XRP treasury strategy and the first of its kind on the NASDAQ. Is this the start of an XRP corporate wave? It very well could be. We'll see it play out here. Now, Bitstamp. The purchase has been complete. Robinhood's real plan here, though, I think is quite large. Robinhood just dropped $200 million cash to acquire Bitstamp, the world's oldest crypto exchange. But here's what they're not saying. Robinhood, they're acquiring 50 plus global licenses. Institutional base absorbed of the oldest crypto exchange around nowadays. EU, UK, Asia, those doors are blowing open. Tokenized RWA markets are next, and that's the key here. Wait till we get to this. Watch this closely. It's not just about access, it's about positioning. Bitstamp, tokenized asset rails, this is the foundation for derivatives and RWAs. And don't forget this. They've already talked about a few of these RWA projects, but they're bringing a tokenized derivative exchange, and it's already being formed on the XRP ledger. That's going to be a massive move here. The future isn't coming. It's being quietly built and right now. And I've said this before. I didn't realize, derivative trade of crypto is actually quite bigger than the spot trade of crypto. So this is a big one. Would bring a lot of volume, a lot of action to the XRP ledger. And again, kind of like with Vivo Power and, their custodian they're using, you have Bitstamp and Robinhood, two unrelated third parties to Ripple, building empires on this technology stack. Now we're just getting more and more decentralized. The XRP ledger, in terms of its payments, its execution, it's always been decentralized, but Ripple's the player. They got the money, they make it happen, not for long. Not when you have people like Robinhood and Bitstamp, and you have corporates investing in this ecosystem. It's going to change so quick, and that's the key here. We need more people having success on this blockchain, and it looks like they are setting the stage for exactly that. Circle, they boost their IPO target. They're looking to raise almost $900 million, citing explosive investor demand, booming stablecoin adoption, and a regulatory shift. So they would have been better, really, when rates were going to be very high for very long if they could have IPO'd, but they could not with your Gary Gensler slithering around, right? They had to wait for the right moment. That's now. Blackrock, they've always said they want in. They want 10% of this. Banks are circling, and the U.S., it's warming up to crypto adoption. Your regulators are getting ready to pass a stablecoin bill. This is the time. This just isn't about a company going public. It's a signal that the stablecoin era has arrived, and really that the blockchain and crypto era is here to stay. Big deal here. We see Brad Garlinghouse saying we are going to rewire the entire banking system. I like to see them getting back to this type of talk. They're no longer on the defensive, having to watch what they say, having to battle for their lives in court. They're here to let the world know what they're going to do. They're calling their shot, and they're going to go out and do it. Ripple isn't here to play. It's here to replace. No more pre-funding, intermediaries, no more excuses. Most importantly, Ripple's endgame, turn the global financial system on chain and make XRP the backbone of cross-border payments, trade of RWAs, really this international, decentralized global hub of liquidity. Forget Bitcoin versus XRP. That's what Brad said. Just get that out of here. He made it clear. This isn't a zero-sum game. This is a full system takeover from traditional finance into the future, leveraging blockchain, leveraging AI. It ain't a problem, man. There's so much growth for everyone here. CZ, he's saying, look, there's a problem right now with decentralized exchanges. Wells are getting hunted down. Liquidations are being gamed, and mebbots are bleeding traders dry. He's saying what we need here is a new kind of decentralized exchange, ones where you don't see the trades until they're done. Of course, he's talking about dark pool dexes and powered by ZK Tech, hiding orders, deposits, and intent until this order has executed. This really could be the future decentralized exchanges. We'll see this play out. We see that in traditional markets, of course. You have dark pools and things like this. We're going to need it in the crypto space as well. You're going to see so many advancements as we move into the future. Ethereum, man, I swear they're panicking over there. Like with XRP, we've been here, right? Where you're down in the doldrums. You're like, come on, we're conquering the world. And the price just ain't doing anything. You just keep executing your strategy. Ethereum, they're kind of getting a little master of panic over there. We have a foundation shakeup, staff cuts, strategy shifts, and this is a problem because this is during peak L2 adoption here. Core devs reassigned, some pushed out, and now they've decided, no, none of this L2 adoption. We need to focus specifically on scaling that layer one. Internal tensions over leadership, transparency still brewing. Ethereum, they're talking about they want to scale to some planetary level, but right now they're scaling back. That is wild to me. They should be going full steam ahead here. Seems like Vitalik is a little bit master of panic. Yesterday I talked about this rumor. See this guy here. Jerome Powell. It was going around he might be replaced. And I told you at the time that I thought he would step down. And so I was susceptible to falling for this kind of stuff. Today came and went. Of course, he didn't step down. But we'll see as we go forward. Let me be clear. I don't think the Federal Reserve should be a puppet for the president. But I think it's time for him, if for nothing else, we need someone that's planning for the long term. And Jerome Powell is on his way out. Sometime next year, early next year, he's out of here one way or the other. We need someone that, in my opinion, is going to execute over the long term. This isn't something that's going to be done throughout the rest of this year. We'll see it play out. I still wouldn't be surprised. And remember this, a lot of people were yelling at me saying, you know what, the president shouldn't just be able to put whoever he wants in there. Well, if Jerome Powell preemptively steps down, he'll get some kind of say on who the next Fed chair will be. If he waits, well, his term's up and he gets nothing to say. So I think you may get a more balanced Fed chair if he steps down early. We'll see it play out. Again, today it didn't happen, but I still say sometime this year he should get out of the way, get the new Fed chair in now that can execute a long-term strategy because that's really what we need. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.